John Walker was an ordinary librarian. He lived in a small town where silence and calmness reigned. In the evenings, he sat in the old library, surrounded by shelves of books, enjoying his routine work. This was a world where there was no place for surprises, but everything changed that evening. John was about to close the library when suddenly there was a knock at the window. He opened the door slightly and saw a woman running down the street in the pouring rain. She was dressed in an elegant but clearly inappropriate dress for such weather, with her hair, which had apparently lost all form. The woman looked frightened, and despite the rain, she clearly wasn't planning to stop. John couldn't stay indifferent. He rushed outside and ran toward her. "Are you okay?" he asked, surprised at how much she was shaken by this pursuit. "I need to hide. They are after me." Her voice trembled and her eyes were full of fear. "Please help me." Without thinking twice, John grabbed her hand and led her to his small apartment on the second floor of the library. This was something new for him, and he didn't even try to understand what was happening. He just knew he couldn't leave her out in the cold, especially in such a state. The woman introduced herself as Lily. She explained that she was being pursued by unknown people and couldn't stop. John offered her to stay with him for a few days, to get herself together and figure out what to do next. The next morning, John woke up and found Lily still asleep in his living room. He quietly made coffee and pondered what might be going on in her life. He couldn't help but notice how her presence filled his house, but at the same time, he felt there was more to her story than she was letting on. When she woke up, John offered her help, but she couldn't say much. She was full of doubts and fear, but at some point, feeling that he was sincere, she decided to trust him. "John, I can't tell you everything," she said, sitting across from him at the table. "But you need to know, I'm not just an ordinary girl. My family, they're not just people. My whole life has been a lie." John was taken aback. He didn't expect such words. It was clear she was hiding something bigger than just a runaway from an abusive family or a simple case of trouble. "What do you mean?" he asked, trying not to overwhelm her. Lily looked at him with a mix of fear and guilt. "I come from a group of people who have been hiding in the shadows for centuries. We have powers, and I was one of the few who could escape them. But now they know where I am. They want to control me, John, and they will stop at nothing." John's heart was pounding. He had heard rumors, stories, but never imagined he would be caught in the middle of something so extraordinary. Still, he believed Lily, and somehow, the bizarre truth she shared felt real. She needed him. John couldn't let her face whatever was coming alone. Together they started to figure out how to protect her. He reached out to old friends, ones he never thought would be useful in such a situation. But Lily's pursuers were already closer than they thought. That night, just as they were discussing possible options, the doorbell rang. John went to the door cautiously, peering through the small peephole. To his shock, standing outside were two men in dark suits, their faces cold and unfamiliar. "We know she's here, John. You have no idea what you're getting involved in," one of the men said, his voice calm but firm. Lily, who had been standing near the window, gasped. Her body tensed as if she had already sensed their presence. There was nowhere to hide now. "What do they want?" John whispered, turning to her, his voice trembling. "They want to use me for their own purposes, but I won't let them," she said with determination in her voice. Without wasting any more time, John knew the only thing they could do was run. He He grabbed her hand once more, this time knowing that their lives had just changed forever. They would have to fight, escape, and uncover the truth behind the mysterious group chasing her. As they fled into the night, the storm raged on outside, mirroring the chaos that was now their reality.